Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Justin, this is Evolving Photons, and in this vlog I want to talk to you and discuss my thoughts about the difference between images and experiences. Now, I've spotted, and we're in January 23, God 23, where did the years go? I've spotted lots of people putting out their top 10, their top 5, their 5 shots I took last year. I found 5 shots I didn't tell you about last year. They're top 22, top 30. There's lots of those types of videos. But it's not the shots to me that are important in my photography. It's the experiences that I have around them. And I think as an amateur photographer, I think that's really important to remember, because it's very easy to get into a churn of every time you go out, you've got to have a portfolio shot. And the answer is no, you don't. You can just go out and enjoy yourself. That's why you're an amateur. You're not on the treadmill of having to make a living from this. You're on the treadmill of, it's a hobby and I can get off anytime I like and have a stop and have a cake, a bit of coffee, maybe an ice cream. I'm going to stop this before I go any further. But yeah, so I wanted to have a kind of express my feelings about why I think that's a really good way to look at your photography, and do it through my kind of view of my 2022. So we're going to go through kind of month by month. If I've got footage, I'll show you footage, but a lot of these experiences that I had, I didn't shoot. They were for me, and if I get the chance again, I will shoot them, and I might video them and vlog them, but there was a few of them that just were for me. So let's have that conversation. You just listen to me and fall asleep. Maybe I'm soporific. Who knows? Anyway, let's try this. Okay, so as I say, I'm an amateur. I don't have to make a living from this. In fact, I have sold one print in my entire time. That was to a lady I work with, because she quite liked some of the wrecked boat shots that I've done, and I might show one of these later, I don't know. It's a bit free flow, this vlog, but I don't have to go and sell workshops, and therefore I don't have the pressure on me. And I think by taking that pressure off myself, I get a different perspective. And so by not making it all about getting a shot every time, and making it more about the experience and what I gain from that experience, I kind of think that's a nicer way to deal with your photography. So as we go through 2022, I'll talk about what I learned at these different places that I went to, and how it's affected me. I've tried in the last 3 or 4 years to have maybe 6 experiences a year. So things that I find really engage me or improve me. And 6 I think is a good number. 1 every other month allows for some fill in. In fact, I've got more than that for this year. But I've been able to improve. I feel I've been able to improve every year. And become a better photographer, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for awards, although anybody who wants to send me an award, best photographer in Herefordshire, I'd take it. I would not sniff at that at all. But that's not what it's about. It's about what I get out of it. It's about the mental health benefits of me doing photography. So the first one I want to talk about is last January. The Malverns get some brilliant inversions, and I have waited so long for one of these bloody inversions to come up so that I could get it. And there just happened to be one morning where I was taking my daughter to the station. I thought I'll throw the camera in the car and I'll wander up onto the Malverns. It's a bit foggy down below. And I got up there. The sun hadn't quite come out golden hour, some bloke was walking off telling me that I've missed the best of it. And actually, I think these shots that I've put on the screen now are some of the best ones I took last year, and the ones I'm really happy with, because I was there, I got these views out across towards Breedon Hill, that I could just sit there and you can see that where does the inversion stop and the sky start? You just get this kind of graduated colour in the mist and the rolls of mist going through. I really, really love them. In fact, there's 2 of them on the walls at home, one downstairs and then one in my office. But yeah, when I'm talking about experiences, this is what I mean. I didn't vlog it. I bloody well should have done. But I was so fixated on just doing my photography and this thing that I've waited 10 years for, to be in the right place at the right time. That was more important to me than vlogging and videoing. It was about, I'm here, I'm doing this. So that was January. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, I guess, is in March, when I met up with guys from the Mostly 4/3 Facebook group. I'll put a link somewhere so that you can join Dave Griffiths' group. It is for mostly Micro4, although there's some interlopers. We do allow them, although they are heavily vetted and are given a passport. But I met, Steve Stain, Martin. I'm sorry, Martin, I'm not going to pronounce your surname because I'd just butcher it and I'd insult you. I'm not going to do that. I think Roger Hance was there. There was a whole load of guys there. And it was brilliant because I don't usually get to go out with other photographers. So just spending the day having a chat with other people, not even about the kit, just about, what do you see? Well, there's this perspective, or you could shoot here, or how you can deal with, it's a bright sunny day. That was brilliant. I had a great time, and the photos aren't fantastic, and you can see from some of the clips I've put in, it was just about people having a chat and having a chat with Dave and doing that sort of stuff, and that's what made it. That's what really, really made it. And I got the weekend with the wife in Carnarvon. So, what I want to talk about is actually my Bluebells trip. Shrawley Woods, which is just to the northwest of Worcester, had this carpet of bluebells, and I swear to God, it was 100 to 150 metres in some directions. There was just this endless lilac purple going out into the distance. I didn't do it justice, and I'm going back this year to try and do it justice. But just walking into this wood and kind of going, oh my God, look at this. And you can see I was just having a great time. And I spent ages there, tiptoeing like a complete pillock, trying not to stand on any bloom whatsoever, because that's not what you want to do, and trying to stand in other people's spaces where they've been and follow paths and tracks and just enjoying myself and coming away with some amazing panoramas just of these trees, just the floor just covered in bluebells. And that's what I mean, the experience. That was the experience. That's what made it so great. And so if you get the chance to go and do bluebells or daffodils, Dymock daffodils, that's a thing. Dymock is spelled D-Y-M-O-C-K. If you get to do that, go and do it. Why not? And poppies, they're another great one to do. My major thing I did last year was the Kingfishers. And there's a vlog, and there's some footage that I'm going to show that you can see. And I'll put some of the photos, you see the photos I've got. That was trip of the year, because I've waited so long to do something like that. And yes, it was in a hide, but I don't care. It's my birthday present. I just went to have a good time. If I'd had the hide to myself, it'd been great. There was another bloke in there, but I was able to just have a fantastic time, just getting these stunning shots of kingfishers diving, to the point that I'm actually going back again this year with the OM1 to go and see what I can do. And I don't know if I'll improve on it or not, but that's not the point. The point is, you know, it's just this great thing to do, to go and shoot some wildlife that's not captive, it's wild, it's in harmony with nature, and you just get to go and, you know, do something you don't normally do. And often you don't have time to spend 8 hours at a hide, especially not if you're working. But that to me was brilliant. Oh, so fun. I'm gobsmacked. I'm gobsmacked. Just, and that's why I want to go back. And I want to try and get to do Ospreys this year as well. I think that would be brilliant as well. So it's kind of made me realise that I want to do more wildlife, in addition to the landscape stuff that I do, and a bit of street. And we'll come on to that a bit later. I just want to put one from July. I want to put one image up from the Dales. We had a bit of a summer holiday in the Dales, and it's of the Howgills. And the experience, if you've seen the vlog, and I'll put some clips in, of me effing and jeffing and walking up a 40% gradient because I'm a pillock, and I'm not allowed to plan any walks anymore. Whose fucking idea was this? That's right, it was mine. It was a sweaty day, but as we came off, I just saw this valley and this lovely winding stream and the rolling of the hills, and I was on a walk with my wife, and I could take a break, take a few seconds and just capture this shot. And this again it happens to be one of my shots of the year. And if I hadn't got it, I'd have remembered the walk for a whole different number of reasons. But it was just great. I just got this one shot, and that to me was enough for the day. And the fact it's a good shot, great. It wouldn't have mattered either way. In August, I was able to spend a bit of time at home in Suffolk, and I got out onto the coast to Felixstowe and to Bordsey, and was able to find a few subjects that I really enjoyed. And I also was able to do this a bit later in the year, in October time. And I love the Suffolk Coast anyway. And I was able to use a film camera as well. I've got my dad's ME Super, Pentax ME Super. So I was able to shoot a bit of film as well. But the couple of shots I wanted to kind of pick out were the Felixstowe sea defences at the Fludges. These have been shot, and actually they've been a landscape photographer of the year, and lots of people go down there to shoot them. I wanted to find a different composition, and I actually planned the trip. So it was a learning experience. It was looking at when high tide was, when it was falling off, what the lighting was like. When I got there, working out the shot I wanted, and I wanted a shot where the defences were out of the water, but not so visible as you could see the whole structure. You could still see the seaweed all hanging on them, and that gives a lovely variation in the colour. And I did do long exposures deliberately because I wanted the sea to kind of be irrelevant. I wanted to do about the structures and the curve that they've been put in with, they've been installed with. So I was really pleased with that kind of. And also then just going around the coast a bit to Bordsey and going and find this. Everyone shoots Pin Mill, and the boat at Pin Mill, and I was at Pin Mill over Christmas. But actually there are other Suffolk barges, if you know where to look, on the Deben. and on the old, which are just as good, but nobody shoots them. So going and finding my own locations and starting to go, actually, this is, you know, I found this, I've shot this before anybody else. You won't see any photos, but actually that was a great experience, because that was me kind of expanding my skill set and pushing forward. And so yeah, that was really good as well. So aside from doing most of the Micro 4 Thirds meet in Snowdonia, I also had a couple of other meetups. So one was with Alan Coles, arguably the greatest photographer ever to come out of Wales, a man who knows everyone and is he's a brilliant photographer. He doesn't do enough vlogging, Alan. You need to do more because you are better than you think. But we just had a lovely time just doing a few locations, having a chat, getting some really nice shots. But it was the talking that was the important bit, not necessarily the photography. Are any of those shots going to end up in my portfolio? I don't know. But I wouldn't have swapped it for any other day, because it was having time with a knowledgeable photographer. And that was great. And then later that week, because I had to do a work trip to London, I got to do a bit of street photography with Gary Norman, who's interviewed me previously. But that was great because street photography is so far out of my comfort zone. But in a city like London, you can go for a photo walk and do some street photography and no one gives a flying Jeff. So I could just relax into it and try things out. And I didn't vlog that because Gary and I discussed it, but actually it was more important just to meet Gary, have a chat, catch up, discuss the state of the world, and concentrate on the photography, because it's not something I've done before. Would I vlog it again? Yes, I absolutely would. But these shots I'm really pleased with. And actually 2 of them are framed on the wall in my office. So Sunday and Bank are both framed on the wall and look great. And I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't. Because, you know, I had a great evening. A beer, bit of food, go for a long walk, have a chat, you know, come back over the Millennium Bridge, taking the shots across the Millennium Bridge that you'll see lots of people take. But I got there and I got my version of it. And I don't care if it's a honeypot location, because we also found some other locations that nobody shot, which is a bit ironic in London really, but you know, it's great, lovely, brilliant time. And this is what I mean about photos versus experience. I don't have to vlog everything. I don't have to have great photos every time. But if I'm learning and I'm getting better, and I believe I'm getting better, then that's what I want. That's what I'm in it for. I don't have to make money off it. It's my time, it's my hobby. And that's why I would advocate, take the pressure off yourself. Just aim to have 6 good times out with the camera in a year. You can take the camera out every day, but just aim to have 6 kind of really well thought out good days out. And that can be going on a workshop, it could be going to a different location, it could be meeting up with other people, it could be joining a camera club, you know, just push yourself, but in an enjoyable way. And I think that's why I think that overall experiences are better than images. So that's the vlog for this time. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got an opinion, please leave a pleasant comment, positive or, you know, disagreeing. I don't mind. It's my view. Don't care. I'll leave you with a few more shots because there were some other things that I did last year that I just didn't vlog about. There was the sparrowhawk that landed in our garden and took out 2 pigeons simultaneously. I mean, that's impressive. So I got some lovely shots of a sparrowhawk that I just wouldn't have expected to get normally. I went to the British Grand Prix with my daughter, so I've got 4,000 shots from the British Grand Prix, none of which I've ever seen the light of day because they were all shot through a fence. But it was an experience I enjoyed, but it wasn't a photography experience, it was a family experience. Spending time in York and Oxford were great experiences. Yeah, so just try to perhaps think about your photography slightly differently, and perhaps partition it up slightly differently, and who knows what might or might not happen. But keep enjoying it. Thank you for watching. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, or if you do, don't tell me about it, because, you know, it's your personal life. Where am I going? I don't really know. Shall I get out of here? Yeah, just go and enjoy capturing some moments. Have fun. And I'll catch you up in the next vlog. Cheers for now. Bye.